Is this recording? Okay, I think it's recording. Hi there. I'm Kitten of Doom. I'm going to be doing a blood tutorial because a lot of people seem to be asking for that. What I have here is I have a human body base to show you some blood physics and a wolf head because I usually draw wolves and that's what I put the blood on. I'm going to be showing you how to do blood effects right there and scratches because people don't know how to do scratches, or some people. Okay, so a lot of people think that blood tutorials are harder to follow and just drawing blood is hard, but it's really not. You just have to know what you're doing. So I'm just going to show you something a little basic. I'm using a Wacom tablet. It can be any tablet, doesn't matter. But you can also use a mouse for this. I just suggest you use one of these because it will be smoother. I also have this little thing up here. It says stabilizer. What it does is it stabilizes, I guess you'd say, your pen. So you have that, and then if you did 0, it's sort of this. So I have it on 1, S1, and that's a good thing to have for blood. So blood is not like going to be light. A lot of people confuse that and they draw their blood light, but blood, it dries really fast. So it's darker because it's got crust on it, and it's as gross as that sounds, but yeah, it dries, it's darker. So, when you have blood dripping from something, blood, say you started up here, blood always catches on things. So you have to sort of pool it. And that looks terrible, but, you know, you pool it on different things. So I'm going to start off with a scratch, and over here I have layers. You're going to be using these a lot, so just add a new layer before you even start with this. So let's start with a scratch right here. Scratches are normally lighter. You're going to see a scratch because in a drawing, people decide they want to show their scratches instead of realistically a scratch is going to be like that. But in a drawing, you sort of want to have it lighter so people can tell that's a scratch and not just a blood streak. So once you have a couple scratches down, you want to just sort of look at it for a while and think to yourself, which way did they get scratched? So did they get scratched upwards? Like, did a claw come up to scratch them, or a knife, or whatever you're thinking of, or go down? So I'm gonna say mine went down, and just add a new layer. Now you're gonna want to zoom in for this. My pen size is 10, so let's sort of minimize that down to 5, and then just lightly go over this. And you sort of just want to go over it at first and come to the side where you want it to start dripping. Now, I would do something, don't overdose it. I've seen how people go like this. That's overdosing something, and you don't want to do that because it exaggerates and it looks a bit less like it could actually happen. Like, it just looks a bit less realistic. Now on the arm, if it's going to catch on the arm, or if it's catching on clothing or anything like that, it pools right there. So you're going to pool it. Don't make too big of a pool because that will of course exaggerate. And blood seems to catch onto each other. So you're going to start, if you want like a line coming down here, start curving it. And then just sort of make a couple more drips right here. And then sort of make this a little bit bigger because you have more of a stream going. At the end of the scratch, the blood is going to come a little bit more because it's just falling. It doesn't have anywhere else to go. Think of it like water. If you're doing, this works for tears too. I'll draw an eye and show you tears. But what it does is it just pools everywhere. And you think, like, if your tear is dripping down your face or coming from your eyes or something, it catches on your lashes too. So you'll have like water drops and things everywhere on your face because it's caught everywhere. So you'll have like things on your lips. So that's how this is. It just sort of comes down and hits everywhere. Now, I'm not very good with people, but yeah, that's how you do it. I would say if you want, you can make it a different color, but just keep it simple. Keep it simple. I overdose on my blood because my characters usually are covered in blood from head to toe, so I'm overdosing. But if you're thinking of something realistic, I would take less time than me. I just have like 10 minutes to record this, so I can't really take my time. So I'm not adding different colors. Usually I'd add a bunch of different colors, start mixing things, and making it look actually decent. But right now I'm sort of rushed. Hope you understand. Okay, so for wolves, this is a bit more complex. So what you want to do is you want to have your darker shade of blood about here on the scale, and don't touch the scratches with the blood. The reason is a scratch going into a cat's or a dog's fur, well, it doesn't really make blood. The fur inside catches the blood, so it doesn't really show. So don't put blood on the scratches because that will sort of ruin the effect. You don't want it dripping because then you'll have to start drawing fur and making it look like the blood's dripping from fur. So just leave that alone. What you want to do is you're going to take a new layer and you're going to start drawing blood right here, up to about here on the nose. Now bring it at least to here. When an animal bites into something, the blood splash comes around here. And some people like having it so the blood is on the lips and everything, but it's not on the teeth because they like the teeth of the animal to be shiny, and I find that perfectly all right. But I like the blood to be on the teeth too. I prefer that because I think it looks more realistic. My wolves are very cartoony, but I like the blood effects to be a bit more realistic, even though the blood itself doesn't look real. So, if you can see what I did there, I just drew this blood on, and I made it a bit thicker than the tooth, because blood is a thicker substance. It's not like water where it's really just thin, I guess. But it comes up and it splashes, so just draw like dots of it. And then you want to create a little line coming down to the next tooth. And then do the same thing for the next tooth, but coming down. The reason you did the line is because when the animal like opens its mouth, the blood that was clinging to the two teeth has the teeth have come together. So when they open it back up, the blood has stuck to the other tooth, so it stretches. So it makes like this little spit line type of thing. Sorry about the teeth in the weird places, like the back teeth. I was really lazy. It's what, 2 a.m. right now, so I'm tired as heck. So for the back teeth, don't try making that line. Just do a tiny bit, because like, people will get that it's a line, but you just don't want to stress trying to make that perfect. I would say don't do blood on every tooth, because when the animal bites, it's not biting with its whole mouth. It's biting with its front teeth and its molars or back teeth, whatever you want to call them. So just do it on the front teeth and back teeth. Leave a couple left, and then just sort of squeak the rest. Okay, so now that we have that, we're just gonna, you start sort of exaggerating. If you're gonna be doing your stuff, your blood like mine, I exaggerate a bit. The blood comes up like this. When the animal bites, blood sort of splashes. So you just want the blood to splash a bit and then come a bit down to here, because you don't want the blood having a giant splash right here, unless you're doing something where the animal just totally bit down. But if the animal did like a small bite, it only starts right here, and it's tiny, because the splash itself is right where the middle teeth hit, because these front teeth catch, bite it, and then the blood itself sort of flies off of these teeth and hits this jaw. So that's what happens. Just, I go like this. Yeah, so just start doing this, and the main idea is you don't want to overdose. So also, a lot of people have different types of blood styles they do, and this is just mine. What I suggest you do is you can try mine out and use that for a couple days or so, however many days you feel till you feel sort of comfortable with drawing blood. But then I would start experimenting with your own. Start doing drops, see if you like drops, things like that. My thing is I don't like drops, although some people make drops look really good. Some people are good at that. I'm not one of those people. I use these little lines, just sort of lines of blood, because that's, again, more realistic. They don't have drops. So just experiment with your own and see what you're good at. Again, I'm doing some pooling, so just start doing this. For my wolves, yeah, I don't do it like I do the people. The people, I keep it more realistic. The bigger the cut, the more the blood. Wolves, I like having them just sort of covered in blood at all times. And it's sort of funny that people ask me if I'm like suicidal or something. No, I just exaggerate a lot. But what you do is you just keep splashing it. When it hits somewhere, when it drips, it's gonna make a mini splash. So every drip it makes, you do a tiny little splash mark. Also, the way the head is pointing, since my head is pointing down, the blood falls down. If your head is pointing up, then the blood is going to fall this way towards the neck. Just think of it like gravity. Okay, so for wolf blood, you also sort of want it to be, you just start doing different colors. For one of my wolves, my main wolf OC, Sheba, she bleeds blue blood. So in that case, if the wolf bit her, it would have streaks of blue blood, but it wouldn't have complete blue blood because that would sort of be too much. You only want streaks of things. If you're going to add in a new color to the blood, just make it streaks. For wolf's cuts, if you do want to add blood, they should be bigger cuts that sort of go like this. And with these, you want to do this, and then you sort of make it darker in the middle, and then you make it lighter around the outside to show skin that has been carved in. Then you can start adding blood. I was just about to add black. Yeah, so hopefully that gives you a good idea of how to do some sorts of blood, just effects. I wasn't mainly focusing on the blood, like how it looks. Most people get how the blood looks right away. They get how they want their blood to look like, you know, what it should look like. But most people don't get how the blood effects work. I've had friends who will do blood and then they have the blood just sort of coming straight up and straight down, and there's no pooling, so it's just like this line. But that's how you do the effects, just to make it look like it's pooling everywhere. So, you know, just, I would say don't do it as much as me. Like that right there, I exaggerated right there. Don't do as much as I do if you want to keep your wolves looking more neat. But if you're looking for an effect like mine, where you just want your wolves to be sort of covered in blood, then do that. Let me show you one of the things that I've used blood on. If it's here. Probably not here. I'll feel sad. Pictures, no, I just have so much stuff. I will show you something that you've probably seen before if you've watched any of my other videos. This is my exaggeration. This was from like a month ago. I've actually changed my blood style since then. This is my style that's sort of, it overdoses. I have splashes on this one. I was doing a lot of splashing. I have another one that I can show you later if I need to make a new tutorial to update mine. But yeah, that's my tutorial, so bye!